What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Not Very Effective podcast. I'm Commander Tim Dean. Joining me is the lovely Cass. Thank you very much for being here.
Hi guys.
So it is Wednesday, my dudes, and we are a little bit late, but we got this going. I hope everyone is here to have a good time. Oh, what happened? I know. No, we're still there. I'm trying to get all this figured out. I have new backlighting that Emma was helping me figure out this whole time. My glasses don't quite reflect as much anymore, and I'm super
Yeah,
happy about that.
that's why I'm wearing contacts.
Yeah. See, like, I don't know. I've just like grown so accustomed to the look of myself wearing glasses that, and plus, like, it was like I didn't wear glasses until 2 years ago, almost 3 years
Mm.
ago now, and so my eye doctor was like, "Yeah, don't wear contacts for like a year at least," and
Wow.
I like still have I have myself convinced that my prescription's not even that bad. Like, I kind of had like imposter syndrome for a while because like whenever I first got the glasses, which everyone in my family already has them. And so
Hmm.
first time my dad said was like, "Well, do you really need them?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, like,
Yeah, I'm almost legally blind, so I have to like.
yeah, that's how Emma is. She has like she'll have like her glasses off like in bed, and I'll like go to show her something, and she's like, "I can't see that. Like, why don't you realize that?"
I know I have to put the phone like Chris is like here, and I'm like, yeah, no, you gotta get it like right up to my face.
Now, if I minimize your video, it freezes on the stream. That's fucking dumb.
Huh?
I have my. It's fucking hot out today.
It's cold here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like 48.
Oh, it wasn't. It's in the 70s here today.
Oh, that sounds so
I think it
nice.
was like 76 whenever I was driving home. It was so fucking hot at work because we're in a stupid kitchen.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Um, so yeah, so we're just yeah, 2 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago now. Chapter, was it 2 weeks or was it last week?
It was the third, the 16th.
So a week and a half
About a
ago.
week and a half. Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
it was last no, it was it Tuesday? It was Monday or Tuesday. It was Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Mhm.
it was a week ago.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, so chapter six, for Fortnite chapter two, season six came out. The theme
Mhm.
is primal, and I have to admit, I didn't like it at first. I thought it was very gimmicky. I don't know. I just grew so accustomed because like you're like me. We started playing during season five, um,
Mhm.
and I grew accustomed to that, and so like as soon as like I like how everything changed. Like I like that concept because it keeps
Mhm.
things new and refreshing. But I don't know. It took me a second to get used to it. With that being said, I'm really enjoying it now. What are your
Okay, yeah,
thoughts?
I'm on the fence still. Like you said, like you wanted it to change, but then you're like, wait a minute, I got so accustomed to the old ways that like
Hmm.
now I gotta it's almost like the overwhelming sense of when you first started playing it and learning everything. So you gotta learn a little bit more, but the more I play it, the more I'm liking it. Yeah.
Do you think they changed too much? Do you think it was more like it was like a needed refresh, or do you think they were sort of grasping at straws, trying to change, too many of the aspects that we were complaining about?
I mean, there's certain aspects that I like that they changed, but like I'm relearning. It's pretty much like a new map, only the outskirts are the same. And so and pretty much anywhere that's the leaf, the fall season or whatever you want to call it.
In March, fall in
And
March.
yeah, it throws me off. It throws me off. Like I don't know where I am. I have to constantly be checking the map again, because I'm like, which way is the woods and which way.
Yeah, I don't get why they went with this aesthetic design in March.
Yeah, I don't understand
Like
that either.
I'm a suburban white boy. I fucking love the fall. Don't get me wrong, but um like, you usually see, like, wintertime updates and, around Christmas time. You see, like, spooky skeleton stuff around the fall. Like, I'm surprised they didn't save this for later on this year. I wonder if it's going to have something to do with the overall story, which, as you and I are coming to learn, there is much more lore to Fortnite Battle Royale than we had ever known.
Who would have thought? It was so deep.
Oh, is my, yeah, yeah. Trying to figure out my mic level might be off. It is fall in Australia. Well, does Australia even have fall? I mean, I guess in the southern hemisphere there has to be fall somewhere. Well, I don't know. Does anywhere in like South America, like I know there's places in like Peru and Chile um, that are like cold and mountainous and not just Amazon rainforest. But is there like an actual fall season there? Oh, if you want, Cass, you can open up my stream and mute it, and that way you can see the chat.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It just I mean, I don't know, are we so, jaded as being Americans that we're like, "What is this?" After winter comes spring, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
I don't know if we were just expecting that because there was snow, you know?
Yeah, like there was snow, there was Christmas trees. Like like look at Retail Row. It was like fucking like
Yeah.
looked like fucking um Rockefeller Center.
Yeah, like and then the packages for Christmas.
Hmm. Which
Yeah,
which
it's
I wish they would bring that back. I wish they would find a way to have that not holiday themed. That was a very nice chest object to get.
mhm.
But that being said, I do like now that I understand the mechanics of it, I like crafting a lot more than upgrading.
I do too. Mhm.
Because it's one thing if you upgrade all your stuff and like you get a gray weapon, you upgrade to purple or gold or even blue or whatever, and then you go and you get murked right away. You're like, well, I just wasted 1,500 gold and now it's
Yeah,
all out the window. So, but
or
like with
give it to
crap,
your brother.
yeah, with crafting, um, it's stuff that you find that game and that round.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, I
Mhm.
might be like, well, yeah, I worked so hard to get all these mechanical parts, or I killed all these boars to get all these bones, but that wouldn't carry over to the next game anyway.
Right.
So
And
that's
like they give you the NPCs are now giving you items, which I love.
yeah, it's more encouragement to actually go and talk to the NPCs because, like before we would just talk to the NPCs to get a bounty and see if they upgraded, which half the time, most of the time they didn't.
Mhm.
And but now, like every time you see an NPC, you want to run to it, which also throws in how there are hostile NPCs everywhere now. It's about like on all the mini spires. I think that there's one over at Steamy Stacks. I'm sure
Mhm.
there's other
Yeah.
ones otherwhere, but like before it used to just be like one or two of them would be hostile if you shot them, or I mean all of them would be hostile if you shot them. But like like there was Uncle Ruckus. Um,
Mhm.
he would get aggro if you got too close.
I
But
think he
then
was the only one that would aggro.
as far as I can remember last season, yeah, he was the only one who would
Yeah.
like. There were other ones you could fight and you could duel, but
Mhm.
none of them would actually get aggroed from just your presence.
Mhm.
Which, at the same time, they took away IO guards, which I don't think anyone is upset about.
Oh my gosh, no. Well, I mean, now that we don't have to necessarily can you buy upgrades? I haven't even
You
tried because we've
can.
been
I'm gonna pull up.
crafting.
I'm gonna pull up a map. There are ways to upgrade.
Okay.
6 up, but they're all on like the outskirts of the map.
Okay.
Like like outside like Craggy and
Oh wow,
like
that's like super outside.
yeah, okay, so I'm looking at this here. I'll post this picture in the Discord. But I'm looking like there's here, I'll just put it I'll put it in my stream chat. Picture go. My computer is so fucking disorganized. Emma was commenting on it. She's like, I'm just gonna spend like a day and a half organizing your computer. So like we have John Wick over at is like way between like Coral Castle and Sweaty.
Mhm.
And then we have this bitch. It says she's the guardian of the sea, up kind of by Cragley. And then we got the crash test dummy who's over in right outside of retail, like kind of between like retail and
Mhm.
can't think of that name. That spot might even be different. And then we have this lady over by Flush Factory, which is a place that I didn't even know existed until almost the end of last season. And then this one way behind Misty,
Yeah,
and
they're
then
super outside. That's
I,
insane.
there's one in Pleasant, but I have yet to see that one. I've only been to Pleasant once or twice since this new season started. Though there was the Jonesy um quest that that we did 2 days ago whenever we were playing, and
Mhm.
so was fucking everybody.
Right.
But yeah, but there are still ways to upgrade. But like I do like how if you craft a weapon, it upgrades it to the next level at the same time. Like say you find a gray makeshift rifle, and you upgrade it to a primal, it's going to be a green.
Mhm.
Or and like I have found blue makeshift weapons and upgraded them and crafted them, and they've become purple. So there are still ways to get the
Okay.
M16 and the scar and the purple scar. You can still get the P90. Um, you can't get the heavy assault rifle anymore, which I know you're upset about.
I am upset about. Yeah, it's just the makeshift and the primal. I think I've seen a couple regular weapons.
Yeah,
Are there still
yeah,
regular weapons in there?
yeah. You can still pick them up. I think they're calling them classic weapons.
Classic.
Um,
Okay, that
so
makes
like
sense.
so there's like I said, there's the M16 and the Scar. Um, there's the regular SMG and then the P90, and they got rid of the tac shotgun and the lever action shotgun, and there's just the pump, which I both love and hate at the same time.
Yeah, I'm a tack girl. I
Yeah.
love the tack
Well, yeah,
shotgun.
yeah. The tack you can just fucking spray, and that was great.
Yeah.
But the pump it is more powerful, but you have to be more accurate with it. If you land a headshot with it, it's done.
Okay.
That's how like I don't know.
Okay.
We were playing the other night. I had a triple kill right as you died, and that's how I figured that out right in the middle of that fight. If I instead of just like aiming for them and hoping for the best, if I actually just aimed towards their head, because with attack it didn't really matter if you hit a body shot or hit him in the head, you were doing 45, 55 damage every time. But the pump
Well, yeah,
can
you're spraying. You're
yeah,
spraying. You're gonna get more of their body surface. Yeah.
yeah, with the pump you can with a well placed pump shot you can get 100 plus. This is where we need
Nice.
Brady. Brady fucking has all these numbers fucking memorized.
Of course he does.
We need we
I haven't.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just haven't played with him for a while. I want to say
I
like a week.
I played with him. Was that last night? Yeah. It was like it was I was whenever you and Chris were watching a movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I played with him and Eli and Kate and because like I told Brady the other day I was like, if we're gonna play, I just want to do duos. Like nothing against Eli. I like playing with him. I don't like streaming with him though. And Brady's like, why? And then like I sort of explained why. And then we were playing last night, and the entire time I didn't have to say a word. It was Brady the entire time was like, dude, calm down. Don't be so serious. Like, stop. And he would
Yeah,
try
I
to
don't think
save
he
it and be
likes
like, oh,
me.
I'm just being sarcastic, which whether he was or wasn't, it doesn't really matter. Um,
God, was he raging?
oh my God, he like Brady rages um whenever like legit battle gets intense and then he
Yeah,
loses, he'll rage a little bit, which is fine. We all do that. But
yeah.
Eli fucking rages every fucking time. He's always like saying stuff, oh, these kids fucking suck, fuck these kids. I'm like, well, they suck so bad, why'd they kill you?
Yeah, right? Who's the one that's dead here, buddy?
Yeah, like they're always like, oh, these kids are so annoying. Like, dude, they're doing the same exact thing that you're trying to do.
And then with it, stop fucking building. And it's
Yeah,
like
and that's
you
all they
guys,
fucking do.
you're in the fucking sky yelling at this kid. Like, let's just calm down. Oh
I do
yeah,
want
I
to try.
like duos.
I want to try. I've had some of my best play whenever you and I duo, and I
Mhm.
don't know if that's just because of the. Well, it can't be the scope-based matchmaking because we did pretty well earlier this week whenever you and I played duos, and the skill-based matchmaking was reset. It gets reset every season,
Mm.
so it's just literally like it takes a few weeks. So it's just random. Like we might get fucking sweats who are already in their close to level 100, and might get people who are new to the game. But like even before, like I noticed that whenever I think it's just because our play style is very similar as
Mhm.
opposed to I mean, whenever we play with Brady, Eli especially just fucking runs away.
Oh my god.
He
Well, I
never
think
stays with the group.
for me with the duos, it's easy because it's like if you're downed, I know that there's two people, and
Yeah,
like okay, there's one, there's gonna be another, and then when you do a squad,
you
I
know,
get overwhelmed very quickly when it's like okay, now there's four people on the last one left.
yeah,
It gets a little too overwhelming for me.
yeah. Like you'll find like two people in a team, and so like you kind of have them like not pinned down, but like you'll like in your mind they're pinned down. You know where they're at, and
Mhm.
then all of a sudden like someone flanks you on that same team, and you're down.
Yep.
You're like,
Yeah.
where the fuck did they come from?
Yeah, there's two other ones. Exactly. Trios is good. Squads, I'm
I
okay
feel
without.
I feel like trios can be a nice medium sometimes, just because I don't think as many people are going to play trios. There's going to be other people playing with just one of their friends, or there's going to be someone playing in a full squad.
Mhm.
And like I'm pretty sure you can squad up with randos as well. I imagine you'd be able to do it in trios as well. But if you're going to do that online with randos, why would you do it with trios? You're going to do it with a full squad.
Right, exactly. Mhm.
I mean, I'm not really sure how exactly how it. I'm trying to look at my viewer list. There's someone viewing who I don't recognize. Welcome to the stream. Thank
No.
you for joining us.
Hello.
But then, this is just a random thought because I said Chile before talking about like the country. There's only one thing. One because like everyone knows I work at a fucking shitty Southwest food restaurant that I hate my job, but there's only one thing that annoys me more than someone who pronounces cilantro. It's like just like the most whitest Pittsburghese thing anyone can ever say. Can I get cilantro on that?
Cilantro.
But the only thing that annoys me more than that is a person who is obviously as white as I am calling it cilantro.
Oh god.
Like I had two different people call it that today. I'm just like, dude, we're in like the whitest ville of Whiteville, America right now.
My mom does that. It's so embarrassing.
like I
We went to like a Mexican market once because she was like all about these like this marinated meat, and
mhm.
my sister and I just looked at each other and went to the car. We were like, "No, we are not claiming this woman." And yeah, we haven't been back there with
Oh
her
my
ever since.
god, that reminds me of whenever Emma and I took my parents to New York City. Whenever we were living in Long Island, we took the train from Long Island into Manhattan, and it goes through Queens.
Okay.
And the big train station there, it's like kind of on par with like Grand Central or Penn Station. It's called Jamaica Station because it's in Jamaica, Queens. That's just the name of the neighborhood.
Okay.
And so my mom's like, Jamaica? Oh, because there's a lot of black people here. Like out loud on the train said that. We're just like, Mom, Jesus Christ, stop.
I don't know this woman. Oh my
and
gosh.
then and then like she pointed out like it was like cold and rainy that day, and she pointed there's like people like walking on the street, and it's like, oh, look at those poor black people just like walking on the street. I was yeah, they're walking on the street. That's what people do around here.
Oh my god.
Because
And then that was her last trip to visit you.
yes, it was actually. But everyone got kind of crabby and complainy. We took them to see all the tourist stuff because it was right before, it was right after the Macy's parade on Thanksgiving. This is like that weekend,
Okay.
and yeah. She said something about feeling sorry for them or something like that. But so
Oh.
we took them into Penn Station, and then like we went to Times Square, like all like the touristy bullshit. and then everyone's like getting like crabby and cranky. So like we're like, all right, let's go find a place to eat. We'll go to Little Italy and go to like a nice Italian restaurant there because
Oh,
they're a
yum.
dime a dozen around there. And so like like we don't know where we're going. Like we've never been to one specific place there. Like we've just like gone through there in passing or whatever. And so like we have to like we get out our phones like we're trying to figure out like okay, let's take this train to that train, like just typical stuff that you do whenever you're there and you're not taking your regular route that you take every day. And so like they're getting like a little fed up, like we don't even know where we're going, like why are we doing this, and like and they're like
You do in a city.
yeah, they're like are you sure this is where we should go, and like stuff like that. And then we got there as soon as the salads were served and they tasted how delicious this shit was. Everyone just shut the
Uh.
fuck up and got happy immediately. Like I'm not gonna lie, it was some of the best Italian food I've ever had in my life,
Oh,
and it was just like this like
man.
fucking like it wasn't even the place we were planning on going to. Like we were walking to a place that we found that had good reviews, and this place was open, and we're like, oh shit, let's just go here. And that's why they were mad. They were like, oh, I thought we were gonna go. I thought you found somewhere else that was good. Why are we gonna go here? And it ended up being the right decision. But then
Yeah.
but then we took Brady really wanted to buy a knockoff Louis Vuitton belt. So we went through Chinatown, which is like right next to Little Italy,
Okay.
and he was just and like he almost got scammed by like like one of those ladies who comes up and like they're like handbag, and like he says what he wants, and she's like, oh yeah, come with me, and he starts following her, and I'm like, no, don't fucking leave. Like that's like, because if you go do that, you're probably not gonna get robbed, but you're going to the place where like everyone knows that there's knockoff shit on in those little fucking Chinatown stores. Everyone knows
Mhm.
that, and like or like
Mhm.
on like the blanket they'll have on the ground. Like cops come around every now and then. They have to pack up and move somewhere else, or they close their door for a minute. People know it's illegal, but it's kind of just hush hush. Don't be a dick about it,
Right.
kind of thing.
Mhm.
So we but like if they're taking you somewhere else, that shit is legit stolen. They're taking you to see.
You never go to the second
Yeah,
location.
yes, yeah. You never go to the secondary location. Street smarts.
So speaking of New York food, we ordered a New York style pizza, right? And oh my God, Chris came out of the kitchen holding like the last piece, which was like tiny, and he's just like, and it was just this tiny little square, and it was not used. It was just a pizza. Like, don't call it New
Oh,
York style pizza. It's just a normal pizza.
New York style pizza is it's like it's like the stereotypical like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of pizza. It's very
Mhm.
thin, very
Mhm.
cheesy. It flops. You have to sort of
Yeah, you gotta
fold
get the
it.
flop.
Yeah, you gotta have the flop, but like not like soggy. It just like sort of just like meh, like flops over like one simple little fold about halfway,
Mhm.
and then but like I don't know. I'm a thin crust kind of guy myself. I like thin, crispy crust. Every now and then I'll crave like a nice Sicilian. Where do you stand on the whole thick versus thin pizza?
Well, I worked at a deep dish place in California. So, I mean, it wasn't like authentic by any means or anything like that, but I respect both.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be in the mood, because if their sauce is on point, you go deep dish because that's what you're getting a lot of. Is
Yeah,
you're getting a
yeah.
lot of that sauce. And
It
then
and like for me like the sauce is just like it's like the least thing on my mind whenever I want pizza, and that's probably why I don't like thick crust as much. Well, like for a
yeah, I'm the
thick pizza,
opposite.
yeah, it has to be a good sauce though. You are right.
Yeah. I'm the opposite. It goes sauce, crust, then cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Cuz that's to me is like, what did we have in this? Yeah, I don't really like the sweet sauces either. I
Oh,
don't
me
know.
neither. I hate the sauces that have so much oregano in it. It tastes like you're eating a tea bag.
Oh God, no.
I had one of those. I think it was like from like one of those like take and bake pizzas from like Costco or something. I had one like
Yeah.
not even this was like years ago, but like I just taste is very familiar in my mouth. Like I know I'm eating this really cheaply. Like they tried to just spruce up fucking tomato water just by throwing a handful of salt and oregano. into it.
That's the Italian spice that they know, so
Yeah.
it's just salt, pepper, and oregano.
I wanted to make bagel pizzas the other night,
Oh, yum.
and I thought I had any kind of just, I could buy like the store brand, just like garlic cheese pasta sauce, and I'll use that for
Mhm.
whatever. It's like with that you can spruce it up.
Oh, yeah.
But
Mhm.
we didn't. But we had canned tomatoes and tomato paste. I was like, I could probably make a
Okay.
sauce out of this. And so it ended up not being bad, but at first I added so much salt that
Ooh.
I tasted it, and that's all you could taste.
Oh, no.
Because I added MSG to it. Like MSG makes fucking everything taste better. I don't
I've
care what
never cooked
anyone's.
with MSG.
It's salt that's not salty. That's the only way I can really explain it.
So
I know.
it
I know
doesn't
that
even
makes
make any
I know that
sense.
makes no sense, but it has that that meaty umami flavor. It just makes things more
Okay.
savory. It makes
Okay.
something just more enriched. Just think of like really good Chinese food. Like this fried rice is so good. It's just rice that's fried with some eggs and spices in it. How does it taste this good? MSG
MSG.
is the answer. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
And
okay, I kinda get what you mean. It kinda makes it brings out the savory without that, like, bite of the salt, like, I don't you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
it's like think of like the flavor of soy sauce, and then take away the saltiness of it.
okay.
Because soy sauce is basically it's not monosodium glutamate. It's some other kind of glutamate with
Okay.
or a Worcestershire sauce, or however you say that. I think it's
Worcestershire.
yeah, it's Worcestershire, I think is how it's said.
Worcestershire.
That is literally made out of anchovies, and anchovies are nothing but like natural MSG.
Yeah, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
And then people get like mad, like, oh, there's so much sodium in it. Like, there's less sodium in MSG than there is in like a teaspoon of like I can't even like think, but like definitely less than salt. And
Okay.
you need so much less of it too. Like that's the great thing about it. Like just like a few sprinkles and like a pot of like chili or something,
Mm.
and it's like all you really need. Like we
So is
bought
it liquid or
no,
is
it's
it
it's a powder. It looks like salt. It's like
okay.
crystallized. Like I bought a big bag of
Okay.
it, like that big on Amazon, like when the pandemic first started. For
We're
like
gonna need a lot of
yeah.
MSG.
Well, yeah, it was like we were doing a lot of cooking at home. I mean
Right.
we always have. I mean we haven't been recently, but even before that we always did. And so like I'm just experimenting with like different different additives and spices and stuff. And that was one of the things that I know a lot of my favorite YouTube chefs will use for certain things. And so yeah, this bag's like this fucking big, and it was like $4 or $5.
Ooh,
And I
nice.
don't even think I have the bag anymore. I think the bag got thrown out or lost whenever we moved. But I have the shaker of it, which is like that big that I filled, and like it's like there's like barely even a dent taken out of it. So
Okay, okay.
we'll have it forever.
Little bit goes a long way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, good
And
to
that's
know.
and also like a true millennial. It's whenever I started experimenting with sourdough,
Oh my
and I still haven't perfected it. Bread's the one
my,
thing I'm not good at.
yeah, my, starters died. They're
Did they?
just yeah, that's they didn't really get started. They're just
Yeah.
there.
Well,
They just
I know he was all like, "Oh, I'm from San Francisco. This starter has to be absolutely perfect. It has to only be this, and that." And like, I used Instant East for my starter, and I made one about a month or 2 months ago, right after we moved in, but I forgot about it, and so I ended up having to throw it away. But the one I had going before, but like the third or fourth time that I actually I baked with it, it turned out really fucking good.
yeah.
And it just has that just like the only thing I can really compare it to, and I know this is like probably like the lamest comparison, is like the smell of a sourdough bread bowl from Panera whenever you break it open to put the soup in. It smelled like that, and that's just
Oh my
that's
gosh.
that's the flavor I'm going for.
I went crazy at Panera recently. We had to when we dropped off Layla for her surgery, I was like, "Hey, there's a Panera by there." So, of course, when you're on the app, like, you don't see the actual size of the loaves. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god. Part of my whole countertop is full of sourdough bread because I'm crazy. And my sister's like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "I have no self-control when it comes to sourdough bread." Like,
How is Layla doing?
she is okay. She's starting to walk a little bit more, which is good. But most of the time she's just zonked out on meds and whatnot. But
What exactly like did like was it in a quote unquote elective surgery?
so basically I had two options. I could basically have her on pain meds for the rest of her life
Mm-hmm.
or do the surgery. And to me, quality of life isn't the same if you're just doped up the whole time.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah, definitely.
especially to a dog. So, we thought it was her ACL, but it wasn't. Once they got in there, it was her knee kept popping in and out of the socket. So
Oh.
they deepened the socket and then lined everything up with her shin
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and now she's good, but I called them today to set up her rehab and they're gonna do the water treadmill.
Nice.
And I'm like, I'm gonna need to take a video of that because this fluffy dog and that little water treadmill is gonna be the cutest shit in the whole wide world.
How does she feel about water?
She's not a water dog by any means, but like when we went to a river once, she like would wait out and
Mm-hmm.
just like get her feet wet, and then as soon as I would look at her, she'd like run out of the water. So as
Uh
long as my back was turned to her, I don't know, she's such a weird dog, but
how
it's gonna be interesting.
how old is she?
9.
Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah,
she's got a good at least another third of her life left then.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I keep telling her I'm gonna clone her, but I don't.
That's what we always talk about doing with Dexter. And then Emma actually looked into it, like not like seriously, but like enough to like see like if we had the money and the craziness to do this,
Right,
how would we do it? How would you go about it?
right.
And there are places that clone your pets. For
It's just
cats, like so, if we clone Dexter, it would look like him, but his spots wouldn't be the same. They'd be in different places. Like that's kind of like the equivalent of like Freckles almost. Not like
okay.
it's not like Freckles like well I think it is melanin. I don't know, Emma, is it melanin where Dexter's spots are at? Because like Rudy he's gotten more and more freckles on his lips. Like his lips used to be pink and now they're black, and like they've slowly just like turned darker and darker. Same with his tongue, and
Okay.
that's just melanin like freckles like we have.
Yeah.
But I think a cat's spots is sort of like a similar kind of thing. It's like if we were to shave him, he would have spots on his skin in the same place where his fur
Like a
has
tiger.
spots. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm. So if you were to clone him, he wouldn't look like him?
He would have the same like body shape and probably the same voice,
Okay.
but his
So just
he,
get a new
he
bangle.
yeah he'd have the same kind of spots. Not sure, but I think apparently if we shave, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I said. But so he would have the same kind of spots. They're called rosettes,
Okay.
but they would be in different places.
Okay.
So
See,
eh,
I was raised on Pet Cemetery, so part of me is just like that
Emma
they're not
loves
gonna
that
be the
movie.
same. They're not
Yeah.
gonna be the same. I don't
Uh,
know if you guys can handle an more evil Dexter. That just seems like a too much of a commitment.
his personality is definitely changing as he gets older. He used to be. Not that he's less active now. He's active less of the time. Like like whenever he's active, he does the same things that he used to, but he doesn't do it as often. Like he's more.
Mhm.
He used to never like voluntarily crawl into your lap and cuddle with you, but that's all he does with Emma all day now.
Aw.
And
How
and
old is he?
12 or 13.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be. She got him in 2009, and he was born in October. So he'll be 12 this year, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Rudy's 11. Rudy's birthday is coming up. Rudy's birthday is April Fool's Day.
Oh, that's 4 days before Layla's.
Aw. Well, we think that's his birthday because she got him as a rescue. Like they were estimating how old he was. He was like not quite a kitten whenever Emma got him,
Mm.
but like not fully grown.
Yeah, I just made Layla's a month after mine, so I would remember it. Oh yeah, because she was a year and a half when I got her, and I was like, I can make any day your birthday. Let's just pick something I'll remember.
Your birthday was the 6th?
The
The
5th.
5th, that's right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Or we did, I wasn't able to join that night, was I? No, I wasn't. No,
No, you were. I don't think
that's
you were
the
feeling
weekend. Yeah,
well.
that's the weekend I wasn't feeling well. Do you have the doc? Did you get
Yeah, I'm
the
opening
doc?
it up
Oh,
right
okay.
now. Yeah, we got a little bit off
Yeah.
topic.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not one of those I'm
Okay.
not one of those guys like we have to talk about this, this, and that.
Well, why don't we talk about Valheim? Am I saying that right?
I've been saying Valheim, but Valheim might be right. I'm not sure. I've never actually heard it said by anyone, like anyone official. I've just seen it talked about on like Reddit and stuff.
Okay. Um, yeah. So I know you played a little bit.
I played it that one night with you, then I played it by myself a different time, on a
Okay.
different world. I like it. It's like I said, it's Minecraft as Vikings.
Mhm.
It has the same kind of feel. You can craft just like it. You can go off and build stuff and explore. There's bosses you can summon if you want to, but you don't have to. Um, I feel like it's in a very, very basic stage, sort of where Minecraft was at when it first was in like alpha and beta, fucking 10 years ago now. Maybe
Is
that
Valheim in beta?
it might be early access at the
Early
very
access.
yeah
That's what it is.
yeah.
That's what it is.
Which
Okay.
a lot I think Fortnite is still technically in early access as well.
Really?
And there's some kind of reason they do that where like if like updates aren't released at like proper times or they can keep updating it and changing the game without getting in trouble with like their distributors. Like it doesn't matter for Epic since they have their own launcher, but back whenever it was on Steam and I think that mattered here. I know there's a really simple reason, but like a lot of like major games stay in early access. Why do games stay in early access? Many reasons, but off the top of my head, it gives less incentive for a dev to fix bugs in their program. A serious bug in an early
Oh.
access title was tolerated more than a bug in a finished. Yeah, that's like fuck.
Well, at what point are you not in early access if you've been here? 3 years Fortnite has been going strong, and
Well, Fortnite even came like before battle. Like Fortnite was a thing before the battle royale was too.
yeah, it was the main game that nobody plays.
Save the world. Actually, I think they're getting rid of it, or they may have gotten rid of it already.
Oh wow.
It was released in 2017.
Okay,
Says
so 4 years
yeah,
then
July
going on.
25th, 2017 was ever early access for Save the World started.
Wow.
I remember battle royale becoming popular in the very beginning of 2018. That's the
Okay.
first time I'd ever heard of it. Um, and I played it on my phone or on my iPad just to see what it was all about. Had no idea what I was doing. And I was like, "Oh, this game's fucking stupid. I'm not playing it ever again." And then here we
Oh,
are.
I'm so embarrassed because it is, when you think about it, like I like that fire alarm kid, a lot of them like men, like they're young, and I'm like, yeah, I'm 34 playing with a bunch of kids,
Yeah,
but it's a
yeah,
really fucking fun game.
it really
Like
is. No, it is. It is. It's a serious shooter without taking itself too seriously.
like
Um,
Call of Duty.
like
It's
Call of
like
Duty, and like
yeah.
like me and Brady grew up playing Call of Duty. Like whenever it was Modern Warfare 2 came out in 2009. We got it for Christmas that year because I was still living at my parents. So this is 11 years ago,
Mhm.
and no, 12 years ago. Yeah, damn. I keep forgetting it's 2021. So I was 20, and that would make Brady 11. And whenever we first started playing that, and so for years, that's all he was about. Like he was about Call of Duty, and no other games for Xbox. That's all. Like I want to say for like 3 or 4 years, that's all he played. And then like we all knew, he bounced around, and then he was into the one of the newer Call of Duty games whenever Fortnite came out. And like I was talking to him, I was like, yeah, I see a lot of people playing because I wasn't really playing games then. I was that's like right whenever I started getting serious about my career as a mechanic. And Emma and I had just moved into this house that we rented, And so like I was just dealing I don't really have the free time to game. There's other things I wanted to do, so I would game through vicariously through him.
Mm.
Um, and so I was like, yeah, like I see this game called Fortnite. Everyone talks about like you should check it out. And so he checked it out. I was like, yeah, it's fucking stupid. I hate it. And I think within the month, that's all he started playing. But
He
yeah,
is just so obsessed. Like, I
no,
mean,
he's legit been he gets obsessed with things just in that way ever since he was like a fucking toddler.
but he doesn't get bored. Like,
No,
I'm
no,
like,
he
how are
doesn't.
you not bored?
I don't
I
know.
can't. I can't. I mean, good for him. I wish I was just so
Yeah,
into something
I
like
wish
that,
I'd
and
liked anything as much as that. Like
I
the
can't.
closest thing I could think of is Pokemon, but like that's a series that there are like yeah, it's all in the same genre, but they're like the
Mhm.
newest one is so vastly different than the classic ones that like if I feel like if I feel like playing one of the older ones, I do that. If I play one of the newer ones, there's ones in between. Like my favorite one came out about like 12 years ago. Like that's the one I played recently. Like but for like the same and that sort of brings us back to the whole um like with the new seasons. Like a lot of
Mhm.
games do new seasons and do new battle passes and stuff. And for a free to play game to do that, I'm totally okay with that. Like that's the it doesn't give you anything like by paying to play the game gives you literally no competitive advantage.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
like we pay like like the $7 or $8 for the battle pass or like for the Fortnite crew, which I think we both have now.
Mhm.
Um, for a free to play game to actually pay that stuff, like it's fun getting the new stuff, getting the new seeing what's in the item shop every night, or like like leveling up to get new skins. But you can play a game as a default skin and you can win every single time, and no one will have an advantage over you whatsoever. And so
Mhm.
that's how you do. And look how much money they bring in. They bring
Oh my
in
gosh.
like let's see. I want to see what the
I'm
revenue was for
already
2020.
I'm embarrassed of how much money I've spent on that game already.
Oh, me too.
Oh god, Chris just looked at me.
So
I mean,
revenue.
it's not an absurd amount, all right? It's just
Jesus Christ. Take a guess. Don't Google it.
okay, okay, so 2020
2020.
Fortnite. Okay.
Hold on. I want to see because this is just Epic Games as a whole. I think
Oh, okay.
Fortnite was. I think this article was just from um talking about mobile games,
Okay.
and it was the number. It was the fourth best revenue generating mobile game in 2020. So that's just mobile. I want to know what it made overall.
Ooh. 400 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right here too.
Um,
But Epic's revenue for 2020 was 5 billion with a B. $5 billion. Like, granted, they own a lot of IP now, but
my god.
I'm gonna say at least no. This 400 million in April alone, thanks to the pandemic. This last
Mhm.
April, Fortnite revenue was 400 million in one fucking month. Jesus
Well, what did
Christ.
it say? There was 3.2 billion players in 1 month?
Yeah, and this is almost a year ago. So basically, right after people were getting laid off and shutdowns were beginning seriously, and you could say we've sort of come back from that a lot, but we're still not pre-pandemic numbers of anything. So more people are still at home. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Travis Scott had that concert. That was a big deal. Um, because he was supposed to go on tour or some shit, so he did a concert with on Fortnite. He wasn't the first though. I remember Brady sending me a video that Marshmello did a concert in Fort one night. So
How do
that
you
would be
do you like go to it
basically
in the map?
basically he plays and it's somewhere on the map, and games just keep taking place, and you can go to the map and it will be wherever he's at in the concert during then.
That's really fucking cool.
Yeah, it is.
Like
Like I don't, no, yeah, it's like you weren't playing on New Year's with us, like
Mm-mm.
on New Year's, starting at midnight, at least here. Um, they have a ball drop in the middle every hour, and like
Oh, that's so neat.
every player stops what they're doing and starts dancing for like five
Oh.
seconds. Yeah, so you can be in the middle of a fight and you'll just stop and start dancing and then go back to it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
So what else do I have here? Let's talk about Valheim. You want to talk about Immortals? Why don't you tell us a little bit about that game? I've watched you play it
Um,
in passing, but I know that's been your thing recently.
yeah, well, I love Breath of the Wild,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like I'm just gonna go. I can have a glass of wine and just run around that game for hours. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's gorgeous. And so both Chris and Bentley said it's like Breath of the Wild, and I was like, I don't know, like nothing could be as good as that. I swear to God, I don't know how they're not getting sued because they are so similar,
It
like
did really
so
remind me of it.
similar,
Yeah.
so similar. And so, the only difference is that it's Greek themed, the Greek gods and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Yeah.
And then, but I mean, I go, and then they have like vaults, which are like shrines,
Mm-hmm.
and there's puzzles in them. Like, I mean, come on,
Yeah,
like it's
that's
just too much similarity. But I mean, it was good. It was what I needed. I wanted another Breath of the Wild, and I got the Greek version of it, and I beat it. In a month and a half?
yeah, it's about a month, I want to say. It was right whenever you started playing it, either right before it was right before I had my surgeries, whenever you started playing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I think that night, then whenever I went in for surgery, that's what you were playing on. I remember seeing you on the Discord that you were playing that. I wonder, like,
Yeah.
is it like a known developer who makes that, or is it some
Oh
like
god,
new
I should know who makes it.
Phoenix Rising? Isn't it? Isn't that the Immortals
Yeah,
Phoenix
Immortals
Risings?
Phoenix Rising. Yeah.
Oh, it's an Ubisoft game.
Yeah. Mhm.
Which is weird because I was gonna say like, oh, the whole Greek theme thing probably got overshadowed by Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That was just entirely Greek theme, but surprised to see it's by that. Well, I mean that's obviously who published it, but let's see, developed by no, it was developed by Ubisoft Quebec.
Oh.
Oh, it is on the Switch too.
Yeah, it's fun. I think that's where Bentley played it, was on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to have a game on my computer that I could play with a control since I'm shit at the control in Fortnite.
Yeah.
So I played it with my Xbox controller, and you have to I can't imagine playing with that with keyboard and mouse.
Mm-hmm.
That just sounds insane. It's a very like agile, running around, dodging sort of
That's
stuff.
yeah, that's my overall unpopular opinion. Like, like I play FPSs with the controller on the computer. People get so fucking like, what? Like, why do you do that? It's just like I grew up I never had a gaming PC growing up.
Yeah.
My family always had Apple computers. Even back in the 90s, like in the time of the Newton, we had fucking shitty Apple computers. I had an original blue iMac whenever those came
Oh, I
out,
loved
and
those.
yeah, in like 99 or 2000. Like
Uh,
we got that like many people did, just to use the internet. It's like the
mhm.
internet obviously existed, but it was very, you had to be kind of tech savvy, and like Apple did their typical thing. They made it very easy for the end user to be an idiot and get on the internet. And so that was my first
Mhm.
foray using Netscape,
Yeah.
fucking Netscape Navigator. And that was before before like how Apple is now with OS 10. This was their, I think it was OS 9 is what it was called, and it was nothing like it is now. It was more
Mhm.
akin to like the shitty Macs that we had in elementary school, if you ever had those. But yeah, I couldn't play games on it. Like but I could talk to my friends on AIM, on
Yeah.
AOL Instant Messenger.
Mhm.
And so, but like my brother and I were just Brady and I were just going over what video game consoles we grew up with. I had an OG Game Boy. That was the first console I ever had. and then my sister and I got a Super Nintendo, and then I got an N64, and then I went to a PlayStation, and then PS2, and then Brady and I had the 360. And then it was around that same time that I had a gaming computer that I bought off someone who built it for a couple $100, and I played Skyrim and Minecraft on it.
Mhm.
And then I had either I think I sold it whenever me and Emma moved from, because we were living in Cleveland at the time, and that was when we had to move back home after she was sort of deciding to be done with college. And so I either got lost or we sold it around that time period. But then, like, I didn't get back into gaming until just over a year, right before the pandemic started. And then I, built this computer. But that brings me to my point where I grew up playing FPS games with a controller.
Mhm.
That's just how I learned how. Like, I tried playing whenever I first built my other computer. That was right whenever the Master Chief Collection for Halo came out with Halo Reach, which was my favorite
Mhm.
Halo game. And so I tried playing that with mouse and keyboard, and I fucking sucked. I for after all the hours I spent playing Halo in fucking dorm rooms all night, I never had a LAN party with that, but we used to, that was my first foray into online gaming, was playing Halo 3. And talk about some toxic lobbies. Holy shit.
I can imagine.
That might have
So you
been
guys, you
good.
never had an NES growing up?
No, I did not. I went
Oh,
like well like I had we got a Super Nintendo in 95, which it came out in 94.
okay.
And then before that I had a Game Boy, but I never
Okay.
had an original NES.
How much older is your sister?
She is 4 years older than me, so she's 2 years older than you.
Okay. Okay, so our sisters, my older sisters, that's 2 years older than me as well. Okay. Yeah, we had an NES as well. And then I don't know.
I had friends who had one. I played like the original Mario and Mario 3. Actually, I played Mario 3 on the Super Mario All-Stars on my Super
Yes.
Nintendo. That was my shit. I still love that
Yes.
game.
Yes. Super Mario or the Mario Bros 2.
Mhm.
To me that's like a weird like an oddball one. You know
Well,
what
do
I
you know the
mean?
story
Like
behind that?
I
Su-
feel like
the
I've heard it at some
the
point,
Super
but yeah.
Mario 2 that we know is not the real Super Mario 2.
Okay.
Super Mario 2 was released in Japan, and it is known here as the Lost Levels, which was on
Okay.
there was 4 games on Super Mario All Stars. There was the
Yeah. Yeah,
original
yeah.
Super Mario 2, 3, and then the Lost Levels. The Lost Levels
Right.
is basically Super Mario 1, but
Yeah.
it's a lot harder. It's
Yeah.
like increasingly difficult. And um, Nintendo of America was like, yeah, this game's too hard for our stupid American audiences. You have to give us a different game. So they took a game called I think it's like Doki Doki Panic, which basically
Okay.
like Doki is like an onomatopoeia for a heartbeat sound in Japan.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
basically heart pounding panic is what the game was called, and it was like it's the characters were like from some like Japanese cartoon universe, and but so they took that game and they reskinned it with Mario characters and released it as Super Mario 2 in
That because
America.
the aesthetic is so different
It
too, so
is.
that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
and like the flying, like or
Hmm.
like I guess the gliding that
Yeah,
you
like
can do as well.
you can like hop and like and flutter your feet and stuff. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's not in my opinion that game is not a canonical Mario game.
No, I agree. I agree with you
But
100%
then
on that
from
one.
my technical standpoint, Super Mario 3 is not at all a canonical Mario game because it takes place on a stage. You ever hear that theory? Super Mario
No.
3 is a play. It takes place on a stage, and
What?
all the objects are. It was like it's like like the title sequence is a screen is a
Yeah.
curtain coming down and going back up.
Uh-huh.
All the platforms are being held up by strings. There's like other things that like
I'm gonna have to check that out next time.
yeah, but
Cause I
that's still one of my favorite Mario games. I watch speedrunner Mitch Flower Power. He's one of my favorite streamers.
Oh, that's
Uh,
such a cute name.
yeah, his name is Mitch Fowler, like Fowler,
Okay,
and he
okay.
calls himself Mitch Flower Power because of it. And he is
Oh, that's cute.
by far the best Super Mario 3 player on the planet.
I have never seen a speed run of that game. That would be
Oh,
very interesting.
they
Well, because
actually
you could do the whistle. Does he use the whistle
yes.
for speed runs?
Well,
Okay.
there's different categories. There's warp, which uses the whistles. There's warpless, which doesn't use the whistles. There's
Okay.
100%, which
Oh
completes
god, that
every level. And then there's one called wrong warp, where you can,
okay.
if you go to, I think it's World 7, Level 1. If you set up the screen in a certain way, you can glitch yourself into a pipe that doesn't exist, and it warps you to the end of the game.
I fucking love it when people figure that out. Like,
Yeah,
how did you like? Obviously, it's probably accidental. You know what I mean? But like,
yes and no. Like they claim for stuff like that. Like once you understand how the game works well enough, you can start looking for glitches that you think might exist. And like they use
okay,
things called TAS, which means tool assisted speed run. Basically, it's a computer program that you can control every single frame input on so like stuff that a human wouldn't be able to do. Um so like by doing stuff like they were able to first figure it out by using a computer to do it. And they're like, oh well, like a human could never pull this off. And then fucking Mitch comes around, he pulls it off. He can do it in, I think it's like 2.5 minutes is how long it takes.
holy shit.
Yeah, and he was actually on the Colbert Show, um, probably like 6 or 7 years ago, showing it off, and like Twitch themselves brought him on to promote
Wow.
their GDQ event, Games Done Quick, because he was like he's legendary at that game, but uh,
But
me and Emma were watching him do 100% runs. He can beat the game. The current 100% world record is 1 hour and nine. Is it? Yeah, 1 hour and 9 minutes. So 69 minutes.
wow.
We actually
See, and then
go
when
ahead.
you break down the, when you were saying how like you could control the frames and
Hmm.
everything like that. See, it's like it takes off the rose colored glasses for me with speed runs. I want to just think like these people are so fucking good. I don't want to know that they're doing like the technical shit to like help them. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying those feats are astronomical, which they are, but a lot of those are a lot easier than you think they would be. Like case in
Okay.
point, my first foray into Twitch and speedrunning in general was watching Pokemon speedruns. I used to watch them live at the Games Done Quick event they do. They do it twice a year. They do one in the summer and one in the winter.
Mhm.
And so I watched the winter one in 2017. And I found a streamer, like it was the guy who ran it. His name is Gunner Maniac. He's a streamer that I'm still sub to this day. Um, and I just like watching him beat the original Pokemon game, and the it's called any percent, so you don't have to catch any Pokemon. You can catch whatever you want, but you beat the game without any glitches.
Okay.
And that run at the time took an hour and 48 minutes. It's
Wow.
now down to an hour and 45 minutes. And so like because like that was my first experience with speedrunning, and how much I love Pokemon, how much time I've spent in Generation 1 Pokemon. That's the one that I'm attempting to learn. And you have to do a lot of those quote unquote frame perfect inputs. And whenever I say that, they're not quite frame perfect, but you have a window. Um, and for a lot of the tricks, you have a window of 17 frames, which at 60 frames a second is a little less than a third of a second.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
and so I found some tutorials, and I figured out a way to practice it. And it's actually, it's hard. Don't get me wrong, but it's not something that is unfeasible for someone who just is somewhat familiar with video games to be able to do. Now that being
Okay.
said, there's a lot of things that, like you have to have perfect movement, going through your menu and picking the right things, or else you're going to lose time. Like that's what really impresses me about it. It's not so much like the tricks they do, but just the precise movement and selection of things that they get done.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, yesterday on stream we spent about 2 hours. I was able to do like they'll have splits. So like 5 minutes I'll be here, at 10 minutes I'll be here, et cetera, et
Mm.
cetera. So I did the first two splits of a speed run, and I kept repeating that and trying to get progressively better. And I was I'm able to do one of the manipulation tricks, which requires a is like the theory is if you reset the game, the random number generation is based off how many frames have gone by since the game has been reset.
Okay.
So if you make the same exact amount of inputs at the same exact time, you'll get the same result every single time. So somebody found a way to manipulate a certain Pokemon that has the best stats possible, and you end up using that Pokemon for the whole run. And so whenever you get to that point, you save, you reset, you hold buttons down in a certain way at certain times, you move to that spot in a certain way, and if you hit it at the exact same time every single time, you'll get that Pokemon with those stats. So that's the trick that, like, I
Sweet.
haven't perfected it. Like, like these
Mhm.
runners can, they can do it fucking with their eyes closed, fucking drinking a Coke and jacking themselves off at the same time. I have a success rate of
God.
about 1 in 4 right now.
Okay, that's not
So
bad.
yeah, I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah.
My goal
So
is to get to a point where I can complete an entire run of the game using those methods. It won't be anywhere near world record, but I
right.
want to be able to complete a whole run.
Yeah.
So what were you
So
saying?
how many Pokemon games are there?
There are in the mainline games we're what's called Gen 8 right now, or Generation 8.
Okay.
So like Generation 1 started with red and blue. Well, in Japan it started with red and green. And
Okay.
so in America, started with red and blue,
Okay.
and then it went to gold and silver.
Now, so are those two different games in one game,
Yes,
or
yeah,
what is
they are
the?
two separate games,
Okay.
and there's 151 Pokemon total. But each game only has about 134 Pokemon. And
Okay.
there's certain ones that are exclusive to red and ones that are exclusive to blue. So you have to trade with your friends if you want to catch them all.
Okay. So, like, if I was playing blue and you were playing red,
Yes, it's the same.
so
It's the same story.
okay.
At
Oh,
least for that one, it's the same story. Um, and the map is the same and everything. But
okay.
the wild Pokemon, there are different ones in different spots for you as opposed to mine. Now in later generations, like in like Gold and Silver, what was the same kind of thing. And then
Mhm.
except for with Gold and Silver, there's legendaries, which are like like the big like boss Pokemon, if you will.
Okay.
The one in Gold is different than the one in Silver,
Okay.
and so those are not exclusive to those games, but they are at the same time. So you'd have to trade with your friends once again. And then once you got
Okay.
into the third generation, which is Ruby and Sapphire, and before I get too far ahead of myself, every generation has a third game. So like there was Red and Blue, and then there's Pokemon Yellow, which is the same story, but once again with different version exclusives. So in Pokemon Yellow, it's the same story, but you're forced to start with Pikachu
Okay.
as opposed to a Charmander, Bulbasaur, or Squirtle.
Okay.
And that was supposed to be more like the anime, because Ash in the anime starts with Pikachu, so it was like a way to make the game more like the show, even though the show was already based off the game. And
What
then
came first?
the game came
The game.
first, yes.
Okay.
And then like I said, like Gold and Silver, same way. Then Ruby and Sapphire, which is called third gen, um, came out for the Game Boy Advanced, and that game has what is considered the modern mechanics of the game. So,
Okay.
um, Red and Blue and Gold and Silver, you could trade Pokemon between all four because they were on the original Game Boy. But you could
Okay.
not trade Pokemon from those games to games on the Game Boy Advance. They weren't compatible. But you could actually trade a Pokemon from that game all the way up to the current games that we play now.
Oh,
Like
wow.
you can go from the Game Boy Advance to the DS to the DSi to the 3DS to the Switch. There's ways to do it, and
You have to do it in that particular order or
yes, yes.
okay, okay, wow,
You have to
okay,
go from one game to the next, and that actually I think once you get to Black and White, which is fifth gen, you can put them on an app called Pokemon Bank, which the
okay,
current version is called Pokemon Home now, but it used to be called Pokemon Bank. It's basically cloud storage for your Pokemon. So all those games
okay,
have access to cloud storage now, and that's how they're able to share. But like I said, like in the third generation, that's whenever they started the modern mechanics, where the stats and like individual like there's individual values and effort values, and I'm not gonna get I won't get too much into it, but all of those stats are currently how the game is played up to now. In the first two
okay.
generations, they were a little bit different.
I had no idea it was so in depth.
Oh yeah.
I was just like,
Oh, me
"Oh,
neither. Me, I just like the
there's like
fucking yeah.
3 Pokemon games." Like,
Yeah.
no, there's there's a shitload and there's so much lore or whatever, have you that not lore, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah. There's a ton of lore to the games.
But like, yeah, the story behind the colors and the Pokemon and the
hmm
all of that. That's neat. So
Yeah.
how many times have you played each, let's say, generation?
Generation one and two, I've played all the way through at least 20 times each.
Holy shit.
At least. Um,
Wow.
just because that's all I had on. I had Red on the Game Boy for years. Right, Red
So
and
those
like
were primarily at the beginning, like the younger years
yeah,
when you
yeah,
were
yeah,
younger.
yeah,
Okay.
like Red and I had Red on the original Game Boy. Then I got a Game Boy Color and Yellow that Christmas, and so I played through both those countless times. And then same with Gold and Silver. I had Gold. Actually, no, I had Crystal, which is like the third one. And so I played through that many times, and then the third generation I've only played through one time. That's
Okay.
everyone's favorite. That's my least favorite.
Mm,
Um, Generation 4, and they do remakes of old ones too with the newer generations and the new mechanics they have. So they did a Gold and Silver remake in the Generation 4 engine in 2010, and
okay.
that's my favorite game. I've played that one 10 or 20 times. And then going up, I've only played the other ones maybe once or twice.
Okay.
I haven't even finished the newest one. Um I'm gonna wait till I get a capture card, and I'm gonna stream the rest of my playthrough.
Okay.
So yeah,
Neat.
but yeah, the last thing I wanted to talk about was and I was just reading this this morning. Um, Jackbox has announced that they are coming out with the Jackbox Party Pack 8 in the fall of this year.
Oh, okay. Any idea of what we're gonna have on the games?
I imagine there'll be a sequel to one of the more popular games. I imagine we're going to see a sequel to Champed Up, or
Okay.
see like what was in the most recent pack is 7, I think.
Yeah.
Which one,
Mhm.
what are the games that are in 7?
Let me look. Um, 7. Uh, Blather Round, Champed Up.
Okay, yeah, that's the one that we all started out playing.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
I well,
I wouldn't mind a new murder mystery party.
yeah. There's definitely going to be a trivia one. Because that's like that's their namesake. Like, you don't know Jack. That was a trivia game back.
Yeah.
There was a Yeah,
Patently
everyone's Patently
Stupid too.
Stupid too. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. I love that
I
one.
don't know how you can make that game any better though. It's already fucking perfection.
It is, yeah. I
They,
love that they're like, "Thank you. Now we're taking it. You get no money." And it's
yeah.
like, we're not getting money anyway, but thank you
Well,
for
oh,
letting us show how.
there's definitely like I mean I don't know if they still exist, but I know they were a big problem like very earlier pre-internet days. They'd have big seminars for you to like come invent stuff for us. We'll have investors there, and
Yeah,
then they would just literally just steal the ideas from it. Like you would sign a thing that basically hands
all
over
the rights.
all those
Yeah.
rights, or like if you write a novel on your company computer and they find it. It's actually their property. There's
Didn't
been
that
like,
happen on Silicon Valley? That show? Like he wrote it.
I don't. It's so funny you bring that up today because I've heard of that show. I've never watched it. Like
Oh
I've
my
I've always
gosh.
wanted to. It's definitely something that's right up my alley. You were the third person today who has mentioned that show to me. Two different people
I
at work
love
did.
that show. But it's so like anxiety inducing.
Hmm.
Like because you want them to like be successful and to thrive, and it's just like boom, boom. Like you are hit with some dilemma every single episode.
Yeah.
It's not just like, ooh, they're like doing great, and like their product is flying, and no, it's like, oh my gosh, like watch it as if it was being released weekly. Like,
Hmm.
don't. It's not really a
Don't
good
binge
binge
it.
watching show
Okay.
because you're just like, I
Yeah.
can't anymore. Like, I'm embarrassed for them, and I'm just stressed out. Yeah, do not. I
Is it
don't
on
suggest
Netflix?
binging it.
You know
I
what it's
think
on?
HBO.
Sounds
I
like
think it.
sounds like I'll be sailing the seven seas.
So
There was
yeah,
a movie. It's called Pirates of Silicon Valley that I saw. It's actually about Steve Jobs and Bill Gates.
okay,
It's about like their rivalry in like the 80s and 2000s.
that
Um,
makes sense.
and there's and like since Steve Jobs' death, there's been two movies made about him. One's just called Jobs. That's the one with Ashton Kutcher,
And then Michael Fassbender.
and yeah, he's the one from Lost. Is that where he's from?
He's played Magneto in the new X-Men movies. What else was he been in?
Why
He's
do I
been in a
know
lot
that
of
name?
stuff.
What was his role in that movie though?
Magneto.
No, not in the Steve Jobs movie.
He was Steve Jobs.
Oh yeah. You're talking about the other one. The fuck. What's his name? It's like my favorite fucking director.
I don't-
Hold on. Same guy who did Danny Boyle. Danny Boyle. Same guy who did Slumdog Millionaire and
Okay.
Trainspotting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he did that movie called Yesterday, I think is what it was called, about the universe where the Beatles disappear. I haven't
Mhm.
seen it, but
Mhm.
that's such a cool concept for a movie.
Oh, he was in the Prometheus movies. Oh God, Shame. Shame's an intense movie. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Um. Oh yeah. So it's called Steve Jobs. So
Yeah,
one's
yeah,
called Jobs and
yeah,
one's called Steve
yeah. The
Jobs.
one with Ashton Kutcher is called Jobs,
Yeah.
and that movie sucked. But um, Ashton Kutcher looks exactly like Steve Jobs, like to a fucking
Yeah.
T. It's kind of scary. Michael Fassbender looks nothing like him, but he does a better job portraying him. And I actually
I feel
like
like
I liked
he's a
Seth.
much better actor too.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like,
for sure.
yeah.
I liked Seth Rogen as Mike Wozniak.
I haven't watched any of them. I have a hard time, like, they're kind of like I kind of push them in the category with Bezos, where I'm
Hmm.
just kind of like, I don't really care about you, billion trillionaires. Like, I'd rather watch a documentary about someone else than like, you know.
Yeah, the if you are gonna watch one of them, watch the Danny Boyle one.
Okay.
It's in three parts.
Oh,
It
okay.
covers the unveiling of the original Macintosh,
Okay.
and then covers the unveiling of the Next computer, which was Steve Jobs' company that after he left Apple that he founded. That's actually the computers that Pixar started out using.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because Steve Jobs is a big part of Pixar. Like that's they gloss over that a lot in
I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, he sat on the board for them. He he was he bought LucasArts Animation and turned it into Pixar.
Okay. Okay.
And but so it covers that, and then it covers the unveiling of the original iMac, and that's where the movie ends.
Okay.
So
And that's
it's
the one
just
with Ashton Kutcher?
no, that's the one with Fassbender.
Fassbender one.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. That's the better one to watch in my opinion. It has a like I said, Seth Rogen's in it, but he actually does a very good job as a serious actor.
That would be interesting to see.
Yeah, and like he just plays like a small supporting role, but it's pretty good. And then what's the guy from fucking Dumb and Dumber who's not Jim Carrey? What's his name?
Jeff Daniels?
Yeah, he's in it too, and
Oh, okay.
he he plays the CEO of Apple, who was everyone blamed everyone blamed for Steve Jobs leaving on him.
Oh, wow, okay.
And whenever it shows you like that's not at all what happened, and Steve Jobs was a fucking asshole. He was like not even because he was a billionaire or whatever. He was just a fucking dick.
Okay.
He just he was like gross hippie who like wouldn't shower and would like wash his feet in toilets, and
Oh,
he knocked up his girlfriend and just refused to accept that, not just accept responsibility, but accept that it was his kid, even though the DNA test proved that it
wow.
was his kid.
Oh my god.
Like he spent millions and millions fighting it in court.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And
How
then
do you do
and then he
that?
gets married and has other children. Like, can you imagine being her and seeing your dad disowning you for no reason other than you existing, but then raising another fucking family? Like that would
Wow.
just, even like they reconcile, but even after the reconciliation, like how could you feel anything good about that? Well, I
It
can
would
tell
definitely be something to get over. Like,
I
I
I,
would
I could
always resent him.
I could tell you how she felt good about it. She fucking, she has hundreds of millions of dollars
Yeah.
from him. That's how.
Okay, hold on. Am I gonna be in your will? Okay, yeah, we're cool.
Yeah,
All
yeah, yeah,
right.
we're good.
Let's reconcile.
I think we're gonna end it here.
Okay.
Let's take a break, then we can jump on Fort. Unless you want to do
Okay.
something else.
No, Fort sounds good. I haven't played in a few nights, so that sounds good.
Yeah. All right, well, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Not Very Effective podcast. Thank you for being here, Cass. I appreciate you jumping in at the
Thank you for
last
having
minute.
me.
Yeah, so we're gonna take about let's say 5 to 10 minute break. I'll leave the stream up. I'm gonna run some ads, and then we'll be back, and we're gonna go trying to rock some duos. So thanks for
Sounds good.
watching, and we'll see you guys soon. All right. Uh,
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off.